Hello. Can you guys hear me? It like froze on its way out. Is it right for you guys?
I can hear you.
Yeah, I hear you very well. So
Awesome. Well, hey guys, my screen, I'm still seeing the little countdown. So I don't know. Is that what it looks like? That's why I was like, are we frozen?
for me, it has, our pictures and the beautiful background. So
Oh, awesome. Okay. Well, how are you guys this evening? Kelly and Amber.
Good. Just excited to be here talking with you. And
I
thank you
know.
for having us.
I'm so excited you guys are here too. Thank you guys for coming. And how are you guys in the chat? Florida Bass Fishing, Shar, Karen, so many people that I'm, so used to seeing all the time. I love seeing you guys. I don't know what's going on my end. Hold on just a minute. You guys talk to each other. I'm going to go out and come back, refresh.
Okay.
Okay.
While she does that, how about I just look at the latest from Dog the Bounty Hunter's daughter's Twitter. Just giving updates. It says, update, the hunt will continue into the evening and canines are on the scene. And then I can read that other, I know people follow Brian Enton, so I'll read his.
Yeah, he is a great one. Brian Enton on Twitter is a great person to follow for updates for sure.
Anyone right there on the scene, that is just the best source. And he has been very vigilant and great at his updates. So 9 minutes ago, he's outside the laundry house. And then it said a little bit before that, he shared an update from a note on the doorstep. Nothing real, substantial in the last hour. But throughout this, we'll give you the updates as we see them as well.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. And thank you for taking over while that happened. I don't know what was going on, but when you're going live, you never know what's going to happen. You kind of you guys know, you just have to go with the flow. So what we're doing is I found this super detailed timeline on Twitter, and I was showing Kelly and Amber, and we thought it would be fun to kind of go through with you guys. And then also I found a few other little posts to go through of random things just to get your reaction. Like that meme, I was trying to see if my screen was working. So on my end, I couldn't tell it was up, but that was one of them. But just some of them are funny little things. Some of them are informative, like this one right here. Look at this, you guys. This, I know you will definitely understand. Let's see. Oh, shoot. Sorry.
No, you're fine. I saw it. Yeah, that's how my brain is with this case. I mean, I want him to be found, and I want him to be found alive, preferably, so that he will have a punishment and have to go through the system.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think that he is alive, in my opinion. Oh, so today, Dog he brought dogs out and everything for the search. So I grabbed some screenshots of that to show you guys. And then I got a close-up one here. See, which I don't know, hopefully something comes up, but then we're hearing possible sightings in North Carolina. I don't know, it's just crazy. The internet is crazy right now. I think people want him to be found so bad. So I don't know. Pretty doggy though.
Gorgeous. Yeah. Very handsome dog. Yeah, I mean, I feel like with the dog, the bounty hunter entering the scene, a lot of people had mixed reactions, and I can understand that. But I mean, it does feel at least like we're making progress. We have, his mom verified checking into that campsite in DeSoto. So it feels like, at least we know more once Dog got involved than we did.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, Kelly, we're always on the same page. I literally was going to say, it almost seemed like we got more transparency into things as soon as Dog came through. And as soon as the local police told us that they knew where he was, and then we found out that they lost him, I was kind of like, oh, come on. And then as soon as Dog stepped in, I was like, this is interesting. I don't know how to feel about it. But then he's just given us much more than we're getting other places close to the scenes.
Yep, I completely agree. Well, did you see I think it was Unjustified, and I may have grabbed it for this, but they had a post that the police actually never saw him. Yeah, right here. So confirmed, this is from some person who works at the news. Northport police say they never saw Brian on September 11th, when they said they knew where he was. So I think that a lot of us were questioning that, but now we know. I don't know. When Dog first came in, like, I almost didn't take it serious, right? I'm like, yeah, okay. It feels like a TV show. Even his interview kind of felt, I don't know, like acting. But then again, I think that he's just so used to taping his show. That's probably why it felt that way. That's what I was thinking. And we actually have learned more and gotten more transparency, like you said. So I think it's a good thing. This was a text from a reporter and the Laundrie family attorney. So, about the burner phone, because there's been a lot of talk about this burner phone. And we heard from Dog's daughter that it was confirmed by the FBI that there was a burner phone, but I couldn't find it confirmed anywhere by the FBI unless they confirmed it to them, you know what I mean? Not publicly. And, so I thought this text was interesting so people could see kind of what was going on there. So apparently, supposedly, Brian left that phone at home, but I don't know. What do you guys think about the burner phone situation?
I think that it's highly likely that there was one involved, and maybe it's still out there, and they say that he left it behind, and that'll be determined. I mean, they'll check the serial numbers and all that. There's a way to find that out. So it's interesting. And if it's left behind, then what was the point of getting it? Because the parents had recently bought it. So what was it used for? What could they trace on it? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. What do you think, Kelly? Do you think that he has one with him now, or do you think that it is at home?
In my opinion, I do think he has a burner phone. I really think that, Gabby's homicide was not planned, but I think him going on the run was planned from the moment after after what happened to Gabby happened. So in my opinion, I do think he has a burner phone. I think maybe they purchased one after he came back to make it look like they did and left that one behind, but he maybe got the burner phone in Wyoming. Like, we don't know. You can buy them at Walmart. We just are missing so much right now. But yeah, I do think Brian has some type of phone right now.
And if he's desperate enough to use somebody else's credit card on his way home, then he's desperate enough to even swipe one of those burner phones off the shelf. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's not right. Like, he's not a sane person, in my opinion.
Yep, I completely agree. And I with everything. I believe as soon as he told them what happened, that was when they were like, okay, we have to come up with a plan. You know what I mean? And so I think that they planned, his getaway. And I think that, people have talked about, is he really an outdoorsman? Is he not? Well, even if he's not, which we know he's experienced it somewhat, he's been learning about it. We can see that from his social media.
Yeah.
He's been like the pin that he shared. I think I put it in one of my videos where it was showing you how to pack a backpack to get like the most out of it. I mean, I think that he knows what he's doing, at least to an extent.
He's studied it. And at some level, I feel like he's lost touch with reality, like with his obsessions with his art and with like the books and stuff. So who knows what kind of reality is going on in his head? Like, he might feel the confidence, like narcissists think, like that they can do anything, you know what I mean? And he might think that he's some like survivalist, but at the same time, like, if you can light a fire, if you can get food and water, I mean, who knows what type of desperation would make him kind of survive anyways, even if you're not like a trained survivalist. I mean, his will to run away right now has been pretty high.
Yeah, absolutely. And once you're put in the situation where it's like survival, you could do anything. really. Anybody could, because I think I don't know anything about the outdoors, but if my life depended on it, I'd figure it out.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see what else I have before we get into the timeline. Just because I did find a couple things, but I can't
And I
remember.
know, I've obviously,
Oh.
I was just going to say real quick about his outdoors skills and survivalist skills. The Appalachian Trail, I mean, 3 months out there, even though, yes, there are stops, there are restaurants, this and that, that's still just a long time to do something like that. So I do think he does have, and especially now in these circumstances, the mindset to and the will to keep going and, live basically.
Yeah, I agree. And I don't know, the Appalachian, I think that he would not go directly on that, but I feel like if he's not caught, he's going that direction and he'll be up around that, somewhere around there. Hey, Megan. So have you guys seen all the talk? Like, there's a lot of talk about him possibly being in North Carolina. So I know I sent you guys a video earlier of a guy who was saying, I think we saw him, and they had called the police and stuff, and we don't know. I don't know how legit that is, but there is official news reporters, like verified news reporters, talking about it. There is a lot of talk there. Even actually, I saw a video of a guy on the news in North Carolina talking about all the Brian Laundrie sightings that have happened and all the calls they've had, which is really interesting. Wouldn't it be crazy if he was in North Carolina and they're all looking in all these other places?
Yeah.
Let's see. You believe it's only 2 weeks since he left?
I don't.
What is this now? I believe he left like on that weekend, the 6th to the 8th.
Yeah. I don't believe he left the 14th. Like they claimed.
I agree. And I think somebody had asked their lawyer recently, I think it was on Twitter, like some news reporter asked the lawyer, like, why, can we ask you why, if the family was concerned about his well-being and thought he was suicidal, why would they wait until the 17th to report him missing? Like, wouldn't it have been more urgent, basically, is what they were like insinuating, if they thought he was suicidal. And the lawyer said back, no comment.
Ugh.
That's crazy. Yeah, because they know they're probably, well, I don't know. You would think that the police have their phones tapped. Is that legal for them to do right now, since he's a fugitive and there's actually a warrant for him? Do they have reason to tap their phones?
I think so, but I don't know for sure.
So this is just the tweet they kind of talking about the dogs going out there and stuff. Now TMZ is even writing about Gabby's case and about dog and all of that stuff, which that's another thing that just makes it feel off to me. I don't know how to word it. There's just something about it. I don't know. It's odd, right? Don't you think so?
I actually heard today that TMZ is now owned by Fox. I don't know if that's true, but I just wonder if TMZ is doing it just because it is such a huge story right now. I mean, it's just the top story, I feel. And I think, so I've gotten comments even, why are you still talking about it? Talk about other, and I'm like, the thing for me, this is just me, is the fact that we have reason to believe that Brian murdered Gabby Petito. And therefore, we, like 99% sure, have a murderer on the loose. A lot of people think he was tied to the newlywed couple who were shot in Moab. So that's why I think that it still is getting so much attention and people are still invested in talking about it, is because we want this man, if he's not a man, but POS caught one way or another. That's how I feel.
And I feel like for myself, and I'm sure you guys are the same, like you're not going to move on from something you're investigating until it concludes more.
Right.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. Okay, I'm going to take this off and start with the timeline. So there's things on here that even I hadn't seen. We don't have to go into detail about those, but I think it'll be interesting to look at and just kind of discuss whatever, there is. Let me see. I cut it into little portions so that we could get a better view of it. I'm wondering though, why has the FBI not put it? Okay, last night, whenever, Dog was saying, I have a lead here, and then the police are like, we're not investigating that. It doesn't feel like they're working together very much, does it?
No.
It's like they're just, I don't know. It's just.
I agree. It just felt like there was some type of disconnect in how Dog was like, well, who do I call? FBI doesn't work nights and weekends or whatever he said. I don't know. It just felt a little odd.
Yeah, it's like, what? The FBI doesn't work nights and weekends. Well, they better start. Like, you know what I mean?
The
FBI. Okay. So her dad, I knew he moved down there recently to be closer to Gabby. I didn't know it was just in June. That is so sad. And it's really sweet he did that, but, ugh.
Yeah.
Oh, and someone put in chat, did you guys see there was a man found that was missing? They found his remains during the search for Gabby. Did you see that?
I did, yes. And it looked like he had fallen or something, right?
Yeah, I didn't actually read the details about it. I just saw like a screenshot of an article. Which that's cool though that it led them to someone who was missing. That's
I know I saw it in a group and there were comments because that's where I saw it looked like there was no necessarily foul play, and then people were like, unless Brian pushed him, which I'm not saying I believe that, but there are a lot of people who think that Brian possibly has, harmed more than one person, or he will harm somebody else. So
oddly enough, they found a body like at the reserve looking for Brian, somebody who would.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's crazy how this has like concluded like missing people for other families.
Yeah, so there's Gabby, and then there's the married couple that was not found during the search, but very close to this, and then these other two people, 5 people, and it's just crazy. So here is the timeline that let's see, June 17th they went to Gabby's brother's graduation. I don't know. To me, it's like they were living the dream life. It's stuff that you look at and you're like, wow, I would love to just be able to travel and like look at all the different places they were going. One right after another. To me, that's like a dream of mine. I've always wanted to travel from here, like the very East Coast pretty much, to the other side of the country and just stop along the way at a bunch of different places.
I agree. I would love to do that. And I hope that one day I will be able to. But yeah, the fact they were so young, they were supposed to be, happily together. That's what her family thought. They all said no red flags. Brian was respectful. We know her one friend did come out and say there were some signs that Brian had some issues. But yeah, I mean, you would think it was just a dream situation that they were able to do this at this point in their lives.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, by the way, before I go any further, you guys, the background is actually like a picture of Spread Creek. Not exactly where she was at, but it does look very similar. But yeah, I thought it was pretty. I found it and used it for the background tonight. But
it's very tranquil and beautiful.
Kind of like all of Gabby's pictures. That's another thing. Like all of her pictures, it just looks like, wow, crazy how beautiful the places they were at. Like the I'll never forget, Amber's the first person I ever saw talk about it. Mm-hmm. And you did the video and you were showing them camping and stuff, and that the clip of them in that little tent under the wooden like roof thing that they're tents underneath. And it just looks like perfect. It's like picture perfect. I don't know. I think that's another reason that a lot of people are drawn to the case, because it has that look about, I don't know. You guys know what I mean? Let's see.
Yeah, and I don't think, any missing person is more important than another. I just think that some gain traction more than others, and why that is, I don't know. In this case, I think it's the fact that they were on social media. They did have, active Instagrams, the YouTube video, all, you kind of like with the Watts case, you kind of felt like with Shanann so much more, but you got to know her. And then same with this, we had the body cam came out, so we've watched their body language.
Yeah, absolutely. And Megan, I'm with you. I've wondered that though, like why one case gets so much attention.
Yeah, and I wonder too. It's interesting to think about.
But, I think they all, she said there's a reason why certain cases get, right when I said, I wonder why they get more attention, like you answered it in chat. That's funny. Yeah, I don't know. It's crazy. But I wish that, I think Gabby, I'm not saying Gabby deserves it. She does. I'm not saying she doesn't. But I think, I understand where people are coming from when they're like, well, why doesn't this person get that much attention? And that's just something I don't know the answer to. Like, I want to pay attention to all of the crimes like that. But also, I think that when you're like discussing it in like a true crime discussion manner, the mystery is a big part of why things like blow up like that. Don't you guys think, when you're like trying to figure out what happened? And I don't know. Let's see. What does this one say? Okay, so this is the Moab police is on here. The Mystic Hot Springs, Canyonlands. You guys, if you see anything worth talking about, let me know. I just wanted to kind of go through it casually, not like in detail, because this is not my timeline, and you know what I mean. Let's see. You guys are so quiet.
Sorry, I zoned out for just a second. I'm here. Yeah.
So sorry, this one has the Moab City Police. You guys talk about that, and I'm gonna look and see. I think this is like right around the time they both quit posting. He posted the next day. When was Gabby's last post? I'm gonna check on that real quick. Let me see.
Yeah, I think she posted July 31st, and then not again until August 12th.
Yeah, there was a gap.
Yeah, there was a 12 day gap. And then, the stop was on the 12th.
See, I wonder what was going on that was like for her not to post like that, when, I don't know, it just makes me wonder, like, this, of course, we can only speculate about this stuff, but if they were fighting, and she didn't want to be on camera, or maybe they just weren't in the mood, or I've also wondered about his mental health, Yeah,
right. Like I'm seeing multiple posts on the 18th, multiple posts on the 22nd, the 30th, and then, like you said, like right after July 30th, there's a July 31st, and then it kind of drops off, for like 13 days. The next one is August 12th. And it's the picture of them kissing. It's actually a really, like you said, like her pictures and photography skills. Like, I don't know if she set up these like tripods or what, but it's just really, really captivating work that she did.
She was good. Really good.
But that's what's weird is multiple posts on the 12th, when we know that that's when that body camera footage happened.
Yeah, and it says on a calm Monday morning. So I'm wondering if that was before everything happened. It must have been, but
I think so too.
Oh, it's so sad.
And then nothing until the 19th. That weird one in the van.
Oh yeah, with her look,
Right.
And then his last one was the 13th, I believe. Let me look too. Somebody said, I'm taking shots every time this person says, I don't know. Well, have fun with that.
Yeah, it might, who knows? It probably is me, but sorry.
I think it's me, but I don't care.
Yeah.
Who cares? It's a mystery right now, and there's a manhunt. I mean, nobody knows anything, so we're not going to come on here and act like we do know stuff. We'll just talk about what we know. And
yeah, obviously there's a lot we don't know. Okay, yeah, the August 13th, which is interesting. He posts on Instagram, and Unmask is who pointed this out, but he posts about the plastic bottles right after she takes those bottles from the police, and he turns them down, which it makes me so mad at him. I just want to because I feel like he was cutting her down every chance he got. I don't know.
And that same post about on the 13th with the bottles, he also takes a dig about an Apple Watch. And we know Gabby at one point had one.
Yep. Are you thinking that she quit doing a lot of things to try to keep him from talking junk like that?
In my opinion, yeah. I think, unfortunately, that he was her abuser 100%, and that she probably did walk on eggshells. And I mean, just like we saw in the body cam, she claimed she was the reason distracting him from driving. I mean, she took all that blame.
yeah,
So,
I agree that, like what Kelly just said, and also I think that he just has extreme ideologies. Everyone likes to recycle and be wary. There's a group of people who are extremely wary of what kind of plastic use they take, and then there's those who just don't really think about it. Brian was, on an extreme level as far as his beliefs, even with the shoes. And it's cool to do things the way you want to do and be yourself, but once it becomes extreme, it just seemed as though Gabby was desperate for water, and she couldn't confidently stop at a gas station and grab a bottled water
Yeah.
without Brian probably giving her the third degree, or possibly even telling her no.
Yeah. And she was going to be stuck, they give him a hotel room, and she's going to be stuck camping out all night, and she's going to be alone. That's going to make her not want to stop to get something even more after the incident. Because you seen, she's terrified to even be alone or drive the van or anything. It's just, I don't know. Oh, I said I don't know again. You don't have to censor yourself, Megan. You absolutely do not. But thank you for stopping in and all of that. Megan has a channel, and she has very, beliefs that sometimes people get offended by, with she talks about false flags and stuff like that. So yeah, that's I don't get offended by it though. I don't mind. I mean, I'm curious about that stuff. I'm just skeptical. I don't believe fully in it, but I like to listen to it and stuff. You know what I mean? But anyways, okay. So this is a after that incident, which is the most fascinating part for me to look at. Now we know that, well, we don't know because it's not been confirmed about his trip home. Has that ever been confirmed still yet? Because I know we've talked about this before, but I still haven't seen it.
Other than the Daily Mail mentioned it, and then Gabby's uncle wrote a list, and then in the top right it says went home 17th through 23rd. It doesn't say if he flew or how he went home, but it does say, according to the uncle, Brian did return home from August 17th to August 23rd.
Didn't the mother say it early on too in some?
Well, yeah, in the Daily Mail, it did seem like she alluded to it, because it said that the family is still questioning a trip home that Brian made during their trip. And then it had a quote from Gabby's mom saying something about where are her things, because it was talking about things being moved it was either into or out of a storage unit. Yeah. And Gabby's mom was saying, where are her things?
That is just so weird that he would take a trip home alone. I know that, I don't know, I just haven't thought about it too much because I hadn't seen it verified. But it's just so bizarre to me. Like, why did he move both of their things? Was it just her things? Like, there's so many questions that I guess we'll never know unless we ask him. But it's frustrating. So that must be why her dad got her the pizza, and wasn't it delivered to a hotel? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then they checked out of the hotel together. Let's see, 8:25, last time Gabby's mother spoke to her on FaceTime. That is when the couple had arrived in the Grand Teton National Park. Van possibly spotted there, which we don't know that for sure. Then her Instagram account likes two of her friends' posts. Okay, I want to get to something here. I'm trying to see, okay, when do you think her van was saw by the family on the 27th, correct? Where's that at? Yeah. Now, in my opinion, I think that is very close to the time when it all happened, whatever happened. Just because I know that they were camping on up the road, but it being spotted there, it's so awesome that it happened and that they found that on their footage. But, yeah, I'm thinking that was, I don't know if it happened after that or what, but I think it was that's right around the time when it all happened. What do you guys think?
Yeah. I also think, I don't see it here, but also on the 27th between 1 p.m. and 2 p.m. is when they were in that Tex-Mex restaurant and
Yep, arguing. I don't see it here either. Wait, let's see. No, that's on the 26th. Yeah, this is a different. I've actually not heard of a lot of these things on here. I guess this person has just went around the internet and grabbed all the possibilities. These are not confirmed. And I want to make sure that's clear. We're just looking at, these are just the possible sightings. But yeah, that's not on here, and neither is the families, is it? I don't see it. Let's see. There is now I have seen this girl, her videos. Have you guys seen? Well, no, hold on. There's a couple people that have recently come out, and an older man who saw him in the bar. Here is the red, white, and Bethune captured footage of her van near site where it was found, Spread Creek dispersed camping area, about 6 p.m. And you said that was at what time? The restaurant around 1, right?
Yeah, between 1 and 2 p.m. the 27th.
So I don't know. I'm thinking that continued to escalate. He was obviously in a mood, and I really think his mental health was just not okay. I think that is a huge part of it.
Yep.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Now, somebody brought up something about his mental health, and telling the officer during the body cam footage that he wasn't taking medication because it didn't make him feel right or something.
Oh,
you guys know anything about that?
So I rewatched that part, and they ask him if he takes medication, and then they, censor some of it out, and it's really hard for me to hear what he says. So I didn't catch about not feeling right, but I do remember that part, and I just remember that he was saying something because they did cut it out, but then it did record him continuing on, so maybe he did say that. I'd have to rewatch it.
Oh, yeah, I remember. I don't know anything about it besides I remember in the beginning when the footage first came out, hearing talk about it being redacted, how his medications and that, something around that was redacted.
Interesting.
Yeah. Someone said, I'm surprised y'all aren't blaming Brian for global warming. You cannot be serious, can you?
Well, we don't know for sure if Brian hasn't had some sort of involvement with that.
We don't.
It's possible.
Yeah.
I mean, that van, I don't know the gas mileage on that. If he was making unnecessary trips, then
Then there you go. He did.
He contributed.
He played a role. So I don't know. Let's see. Why do you think that he was hitchhiking then? If that is something that really I've wondered, and I have no idea. I mean, it makes no sense to me. But
Yeah.
what do you guys think about that? Oh crap! I don't know where we're at. Either one of you, Amber. I'll just.
I honestly, I'm dumbfounded by that as well, because like, where is the van at that point? Why leave his shelter in a way? Like, what would make him desperate enough to ditch it, and then he ends up going back for it and driving it to Florida?
Yeah, like
It's like, why? Where was it? Like, when he was hitchhiking, and like, in relation to where he wanted to go, and because remember how he didn't want to go to Jackson Hole?
yeah.
Is that where the van was? Like, what is going on? Like, where is that van during that time, and why did he go back for it?
Yeah, what was his plan to do if he hadn't have went back for it? Like what? I don't know. What do you think, Kelly?
Well, and I could be wrong, but I always kind of was thinking that the van was left where it was seen on the 27th. Because isn't that Spread Creek? And she said that she dropped him off at the entrance, offered to drive him in, and he started basically getting out of the moving car. So I was thinking like maybe he just kind of freaked out, or Gabby could have still been alive and maybe he wanted space from her. I don't know. Or he had already done what he did, freaked out, and was going to try to possibly flee the scene or whatever, and then realized, no, I need to get back to the van and go home and go on the run.
Right.
I don't know. But
or did somebody advise him to go back? And of course, I'm speculating, but it's like, you have to wonder, why all of a sudden did the plan change?
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I wonder. But this is a good point. And that's why I love these discussions. Sandy Beach said maybe he was getting rid of evidence at a distance. And maybe it did have something to do with that. Like,
because didn't Miranda Baker say he was clean?
Yeah.
So
he came out of the shower, maybe, right?
Right. Maybe he went walked to one of the shower areas, and then where did he get the $200 he offered?
Kelly, you keep stealing everything I wanted.
I'm in your mind.
We're always on the same page. I've been wondering that too. Like, if he was so cheap and stingy, like we get the feeling from him.
Yes.
A lot of us, why would he just dump 200? And I think that the evidence ditching is a good theory.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because he had to be like desperate, at least like to offer 200. There had to be something.
But then why not just drive the van? Because he didn't want it to be seen places?
I don't know. Let's see what Nikki says. She said, I think he planned to flee, but his mind was racing at that time, and something popped into his head, and for whatever reason, he thought it was a better idea to go back. Silly boy.
Yeah, maybe he did what he did or whatever, and then he's like, okay, I'm going to flee the scene, and maybe he planned to act like, he came back and found Gabby that way, or like you said, Amber, maybe he left, kind of cleared, took a breather, called somebody. I mean, there is so much in this case that is going to come out, in my opinion. Surveillance, phone.
Oh, yeah.
And the autopsy is going to help. Like, right now, we can't make sense of these things that he did because we're not him,
Right.
We don't know what type of mental issues or whatever is going through his head. So the autopsy is going to give us really a lot of like the answers we'll need. Like, did she pass before he hitchhiked, like you said, or maybe they were arguing and he thought, I should just get out of here. It's going to be a lot of answers. And I hope that we can get like a clear timeline of that. I don't know, like, obviously the condition and all that, but I would really like to get down to like a few hours to the time of death.
I wonder if we will. Will we get to that like that close to the time?
Hard to say.
I really hope so. I really do, because that, if so, that will tell so much. But um, I don't know. They say that it's like kind of cool at night up there right now, but it's really hot in the daytime. But I don't know.
I
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I just think it is amazing that that couple got that footage. Because if they didn't, who knows if they would have even found her yet? You know, I
Well,
don't
yeah,
know.
that's the thing. It's like people are trying to discredit it. Like, oh, don't you think the FBI would have? Yeah, they probably would have, or a search team or EquiSearch. But think about it. What, and like we're saying right now, the autopsy is going to give us the answers. The better and quicker you get to that autopsy table, the better for the case.
That's true.
So, maybe they would have found her. No one could ever know that because that's not what happened,
Yeah.
This footage came out of the van and they found her. So you can't discredit it. And I think that it's remarkable that that happened. And, it almost makes you want to put a dash cam on your
Yeah.
car.
Yeah.
Because you're like, wow, what would I pick up if I needed to,
I know. And then it happening on their child who had passed on his birthday, right? Oh,
Yeah.
it's crazy. It's like just, I don't know, straight from heaven. Shannon said, I wonder if he'd hoped someone would find Gabby in the van, giving him an alibi, but after he didn't hear anything on the news, he decided to go back. I have wondered if it had something to do with like where she was, because I'm wondering if this took place where she was or if he moved her there. You know what I mean? And I guess I don't know if we'll ever know that. I'm hoping that we will. She'll probably have like lividity and different things where if you move her, they'd be able to tell.
Yeah.
Don't you think? Yeah.
You would hope so, but then of course we never got those types of answers in the Watts case.
Yeah. Let's see. I've been to Jackson Hole Tetons a couple times. If you put any type of effort to hide a body, you have a good chance of it not being found. He rushed or not strong enough to move her something. That was my fear, that she would never be found because it's so much wilderness, so many mountains. And so I do think it's possible that he like kind of panicked and rushed and just left and was like, but what did he think? I mean, you went home without her in her vehicle. If she shows up, dead somewhere, that's still going to be on you. I don't know. How would you ever think that? I don't know. It doesn't make that much sense to me, but
him mowing the lawn and stuff like that, like how are you just like going back to mundane everyday like life? Like there's just something so troubling about that whole scene, like him doing like the normal things, and it's like, wait a minute, what, you're just gonna carry on?
I think that shows like that mental illness is definitely playing a role here. And especially if he's unmedicated, who knows? I mean, and hearing voices, if that's true, we don't know if that's true, but I mean, it certainly fits. But then also to be so like bold using her cards and things like that, like right here, 831 reports indicate Brian Laundrie may have used at least one card, refer to warrant, to purchase something at a gas station in Benton, Illinois. Like that is so bold, you know what I mean? And I don't know, just how would you not? Jordan Thomas, girls finally catching a live I can comment on. I watch all of you girls. My husband is a cop in Florida. Hey, Jordan.
Hi, Jordan.
Hello.
Hey, insanely confused. Okay, let's see what's next. Yes, Bentley.
While you look at that, there's really no update from what I see. Dog just said something about the search is going to continue and he'll have canines overnight right now.
Wow. So they're not stopping.
Nope.
Good. But yeah, just talking about Brian, I mean, he's not sane. I don't think he has any emotions. I don't think he's human, basically. So I just don't think his brain has any empathy. And I feel like his parents may be the same way, and that's why he is how he is, you know?
Yeah. Because
I
they
just,
definitely seem like they don't have a lot of empathy right now. Oh, thank you, Jordan. Welcome.
And
From West Virginia.
can you imagine if it's true that he was on medication and then not taking it?
yeah.
That would mean that he's been evaluated, that his parents could possibly know of like issues that he had, you know what I mean? Like, and obviously he's an adult and he can take his medication or not take it, you know what I mean? That's his decision, but it's just really troubling. Like, did Gabby know? Did her parents know? You know what I mean? Like, what? It's almost like you always say like you don't necessarily know you think you know somebody, you know, and then you don't. It's like what was going on and how much did anybody know, and for them to just think that he was like a good guy for their daughter, it's just like devastating to see. Like if he was supposed to be on some sort of medication, and it's like what the heck, like so this could have been possibly prevented on so many levels.
Yeah, absolutely. Hold on. I was trying to get rid of a comment, like, but my thing. Hold on. I'm sorry, you guys.
No, you're fine.
You're fine.
Will was hidden, and then Paul said, "Get some ointment, Will."
I was going to tell him to just itch away.
Oh my god, I just read it.
Yeah. Get a back scratcher. Okay. But you know, what echoes in my mind is just how Gabby's mom said that she sent, you know, worried texts to his parents. I think mainly Roberta Laundry. Like, have you heard from Gabby? I'm not getting responses. I'm worried, this and that. And she ghosted them. I mean, she wasn't responded to. And that is just gut wrenching.
Like, you know, that your daughter, goes on a trip with, like, you feel like parents would have this understanding. It doesn't really have to be spoken, but like an unspoken thing. You know what I mean? Where you look out for each other, you let each other know what's going on. You're helping, like, look out for each other's kids. I don't know.
And Gabby lived with them for, you know, and she said that Roberta would knit her things for Christmas. I mean,
it's crazy to think that Roberta couldn't just say like, I have no idea what's going on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. She just
and maybe that's because she did know what's going on. So by her saying she didn't know what's going on, you know what I mean? It's like the silence speaks volumes.
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. Mystic Firefly, did Gabby's parents ever go visit Gabby there? I would hope Joe and Jim go do a real life visit with those parents now. They might. I don't know though. There's people like at their house. Can you imagine that they've got people outside nonstop? If they would just cooperate at least a little bit, that would make it stop. When is it going to stop if they don't? I was thinking about that today. Like, you know, I guess when he's found or what?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think
they're not even like trying to find him.
Yeah.
Unless maybe they have. Amy said his mother had a fake profile on Instagram. Unless maybe they know where he's at. Amber did a video about that. That is another thing. Like, if that was actually her, which it's looking like it very well could have been, that's really bad. I mean, you're saying that, you know, Gabby's okay. I don't know, just quit looking and different things. I don't know. It's just really bad.
Yeah, that'll come out in court, I'm sure.
Cannot wait. I love you. She said, "Oh, Alex, I love you," over that comment. I think, let's see. I was going to look. You said that when Bentley came in, when you were talking about the updates, what did you say about Dog? That he said that they would be overnight there, right?
Well, right now, as of 20 minutes ago, like right when we started, it said Dog and team are still searching an island near Fort DeSoto Park in Pinellas County. Sorry, I don't know how to pronounce their county. But it says K9 teams have been brought in to assist. The search will continue into the evening. And then it just like gave the tip number.
Oh, okay. Paul said they will have to move. So what do you guys think about the lie about this note on the car and the family supposedly it being there, but actually there's news footage of it being at home that day?
Yeah, that is so frustrating, and I'm still a little bit confused over all of that. But yeah, it seems like his family went through some steps to kind of plant the Mustang and lead them to that reserve and this and that. And yeah, that's frustrating.
Melissa did a video on it today, and she kind of shows like she shows the video footage from the reporter there that Wednesday, because remember they said that the police left a note on the car. They saw it there on Wednesday, but they came back for it on Thursday morning. Well, there was reporters there Wednesday, and they did a live, and it shows that the Mustang was actually in the driveway. So I don't know, there's a lot of lies going on somewhere.
Yeah. Anytime lies and inconsistencies and stories change, never a good sign.
Yeah, you have to wonder why.
This is like one of the worst families, and they haven't even come out and said anything. When like other families like Scott Peterson and like other cases, like people have put the parents on very close scrutiny, like the Casey Anthony case, and it's like these parents haven't even come out, and I just get this feeling that they're like worse than all those other parents like combined.
That is pretty funny. Well, I think it can only get, I don't see how them coming out's going to make it any better. And eventually, well, actually, they don't ever have to say anything. But I mean, if they call them to court, they can plead the fifth the whole way, right?
Yeah.
They really don't ever have to, which that isn't like a fear of mine. I don't want that to happen. I want to know what happened. But really, and I think that Brian probably knows better, even if he's found, we may not ever know everything. You know what I mean? Amy says, did y'all see the update on Fox News? Is it from just now?
What? Let me check.
I'm going to check too. I can, if it's new, I can pull it up on the screen. So Brian is named person of interest September 15th. That was 2 weeks ago. It feels like freaking 6 months. Like,
yes, it really does. I'm seeing something 34 minutes ago just talking about how the Florida park handed over the surveillance to the FBI. I don't know if that's the update they're referring to.
Okay, let's see.
It says Brian Laundry Hunt, Fox News Digital follows dog. And they're at the campsite. I don't know. It's like a video.
Oh, I have a video live now from Fox. It says that FBI sees Brian Laundrie's cell phone. That was 3 hours ago.
I will, Paul. I agree with you, Paul T. I want him found alive.
Yeah, and I don't want a plea deal.
No.
Me too. Let's see. Please don't talk about other creators in my chat because it just really will bring drama here, and I don't want that at all. I'm going to have to delete that. I don't know. I can't do it from the computer. Thank you, Whoopi. Okay, you want me to pull up the one that I found, or do you want to keep going through this? I should have looked at this close better myself alone, but I just figured we would do it together. But let's see what else is here. The last day that police knew where he was, which I just changed it, but that was the last thing on the last one. And then we know the very next day he's lost, and that now we find out they never laid eyes on him. That is just so frustrating.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's almost inexcusable.
Yeah, they said on the 16th, he said, all I'm going to say is we know where Brian's at, okay? Like, just kind of short, we know where he's at. But no, you didn't.
Crazy. And that, I think police have dropped the ball so many times during this, like in many different ways. Hopefully they learn, I guess. That's all I know.
Yeah.
Camping witness Lupe Alvarez said he and his partner first saw searchers arrive at Spread Creek. Don't know where that came from, so I can't verify that. Search for Brian starts at the Carlton Reserve. I still want to know what led them there. And maybe it wasn't even to look for him, only him. Maybe, like we talked about before, a weapon or something. That's what I'm thinking. Then Brian's sister gives the interview on ABC, Channel 7. And then you see those postcards that Gabby had written and stuff, which is really sweet. Yes, they have, Allie. I don't know. Remember what I even said. I got a little sidetracked. I get nervous. Go ahead.
Or I was going to say, was that maybe about verifying when they first saw the searchers at Spread Creek?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, those postcards that she wrote to, you know, Gabby's or to Brian's sister's kids, that was so, I mean, you could just, that's a lot, you know, that's effort to, I'm horrible at writing cards or even emailing. Amber and I were talking, but yeah, to go through and,
yeah,
you know,
she drew like the mountains and stuff, you mean, that she drew?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm. Oh, that the police have dropped the ball. Sorry.
Okay.
And that's what's interesting though, is the local police, I feel, and just even with them kind of denouncing Dog the Bounty Hunter's claims of that camp area at first, remember, they were like, we are doing our search somewhere else, like not verbatim, but like something along those lines, paraphrasing.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden we heard that they actually went to the campsite too. And then somebody else wanted to know if we can say that the FBI already knew about the camp information, like Roberta's registry, etc. Then why did they wait until today to get the surveillance footage?
Yep, absolutely. I don't think they did know. I think they're just trying to play it off. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like what is going on?
I don't know. I really don't know. And I know there was rumors about like his mom being a DA, which I don't think that was true. I never found that verified.
She worked in the office, and that has nothing to do with. I just think that's just whatever. Like, what is she gonna do? Go to her boss and be like, "Can you help me?" You know?
Yeah. I don't know. Maybe though somebody somewhere has some kind of influence. Because sometimes you think like there are cases where there's somebody high up that has influence, just like Kendrick Johnson. Yeah. You know what I mean? And it does happen.
Yeah, it does. But at the same time, it seemed like Gabby's family was very happy with FBI's work, and they had nothing but positive things to say about FBI. I did notice that they made a point to say the FBI. They didn't say local police department has been blah, 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 blah. Like they made a point to say their experience so far with the FBI has been good. But I just can't understand why that footage from the camp place was only given to them today.
I just think Dog is how they found out about it. If they knew about it, wouldn't they have been looking there? I mean, that was just right before she was reported missing that they were there. It only makes sense to look there for him.
I agree. And because of that list, I mean, a news network reached out to the name of the woman who registered at the campsite beside them. And sure enough, they were able to get in contact with her. They were looking through their pictures. There was a selfie, and it looks like Brian Laundrie is in the background. And that would be one of the last sightings of him. And yet we're just now hearing about this on September 29th, when he's allegedly been missing since they knew about September 17th. It just doesn't add up, and it feels very frustrating.
Yeah, that's complete crazy. Oh. how they found the I gotta turn this down. I'm trying to upload a picture. How they found him in the background of those selfies and stuff. That's just crazy. Someone hasn't seen the postcards, so I'm uploading those real quick. I'm gonna mute you guys. Just talk for a second because it's echoing bad when I'm trying to do it.
All right.
Yeah, so I just watched there's a video of dog on a boat, and he's basically saying that they have the canines out there and they are searching. KNS said Fox News is dropping updates videos, so we'll look into those.
Yeah, I can play that dog thing right now if you want. I got it.
Yeah. Just let us hear it.
Hold on. Hold on, stupid phone.
Yeah, and that is true, Sammy. I mean, it does take time for sure to gather the information. It's just interesting, like dog came out and then it was like boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
So we're out here on the islands. First of all, we'd like to tell you thank you very much for helping us. We've been out here 4 or 5 hours, and this hunt will probably last through the evening with the dogs. We got all the dogs out here. We've got a team, the greatest team, one of the greatest teams I've ever seen. This team's going to make my kids all jealous. So thank you, brother, very, very much. Aloha. We appreciate it.
Was that the clip you were talking about, Kelly?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's just
On a boat.
They got the dogs out there, and they're just going to continue into the evening, and that was like less than an hour ago.
Okay, yeah, and there is one from Fox News that's showing, Dog the Bounty Hunter and some other searchers walking and searching. So, and it says that, the Dog the Bounty Hunter came across a campsite on Shell Island. So could that have been Brian's? We don't know yet.
Oh,
wow.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I can play it on the thing. And thank you. I'm so sorry to do that. Like, oh, here, talk for a second. It just like I didn't know what to do and it was echoing really bad. But thank you guys.
No problem. I don't want you to get like a copyright strike or whatever if you play the Fox News thing though.
Oh yeah, didn't one of you guys get one from?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got one from Fox.
Oh wow, okay.
You can play the audio or break it down.
There's no audio. It's literally just them walking.
Okay, yeah, I see it right now. They're just walking in some brush that's like up to their waist pretty much. Yep, and it says bounty hunter, this is the moment he comes across a campsite on Shell Island, but it doesn't show the campsite.
No, it doesn't.
See, it feels like an episode of his show in a way. Do you know what I mean? It's like, why are you showing him walking up to it? Like, this is like the commercial. Stay tuned. I don't know.
Oh, Lord. I see what you're saying.
Yeah. Oh, thank you, KNS, so much. Appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, I'm not...
Nicole Morgan sent something too.
Oh, thank you, Nicole. I missed it totally because I was uploading that. Thank you so much. Hello, Alex, Amber, and Kelly. Thank you for staying on the case and keeping us all up to date. Justice for Gabby. Thank you, Nicole. Thank you, guys. But yeah, I'm not saying that's what's going on there. And I am like appreciative of him even coming onto it because it seems to have made a difference. At least we're finding out things that we didn't know before. I'm just saying it doesn't, I don't know. But I used to be a big fan of his show. I used to watch it all the time.
Yeah, it's like I've gotten comments talking about him negatively and positively, and it's like at this point, I just don't care who finds him. Just find him.
Mm-hmm.
That's what people should be worried about is let's just find him. Like, who cares who's looking,
Yeah, absolutely. I think it was Jordan in the chat who hadn't seen the postcards, but those are the postcards, which, man, it's so heartbreaking. She does seem like just such a sweet, innocent, loving, I don't know, with a body cam plus like seeing other things. And she just seems really innocent and naive and just, I don't think that she ever saw it coming. I hate it. I don't mean like literally she never predicted it something would happen. I'm just saying I think she was naive and innocent thinking, you know what I mean? I think she thought, I don't know. She just seems that way to me. Like she feels like the kind you want to just protect her, look out for her, like, you know?
Yeah,
Like,
I agree for sure. And I'm still worried about how much she knew of his issues, you know what I mean? Like did he hide it or what?
yeah. And like, yeah, he may have hit it, but I can just picture him like like maybe go like what if he had an episode, right? And he did what he did and then he came to and realized what happened and maybe he was already on foot somewhere and or something like that. You know what I mean? Like just completely losing it. That's how I picture it in my head. Who knows really? We really don't know. Even what if we don't know if he's a serial killer or something. I doubt it, but it's possible. Crazy. I think that's part of the like the reason that we're all like so invested because it's such a mystery. We want to know more and yeah.
Right. Obviously everyone wants to know the psychology behind his mentality right now too, you know. It's like
Yeah.
and I wouldn't put it past him being a serial killer. I mean, I'm not saying he is, but at the same time, like, what do we really know about him? Like, in what we do know, like the episodes, quote unquote, from Gabby's friends, she talked about, and the voices and medication that he's supposed to be taking. Like, what is real? Who is this person? You know what I mean? And what is he capable of?
Yeah.
On September 25th, it was at 30,000 and now it's at 170, right? The reward.
Last I checked, yeah.
And if anybody has any information, you can call 1-800-CALL-FBI. I just want to make sure to say that. Not that anybody would in here, but you never know. And I've thought about this too, like, and right here about her memorial service. If he did have a phone of some sort, I mean, we've heard, I want to hear what you guys think about the Twitter that's being said could be his. But let's just say if he had a phone, would he be watching the news and like her service or any of the things that are going on? You know what I mean? I don't know. You would think if he has a phone that he would be watching, but also I would think if he had a phone, he would know he might get caught that way.
Right.
Yes, the burner phone to me wouldn't be a smartphone, in my opinion.
That's what I think too.
Yeah. Do they? I know my husband, see, I'm still on my parents' cell phone plan. So I have an iPhone and that's the one thing they still pay for. But my husband buys, it is kind of like a burner phone. And, you know, he loads the minutes on it or whatever because he doesn't care about phones or technology. But I know last time he went, he said that it was really hard to even find a flip phone. So he ended up getting, I don't know what he has, but it's a smartphone. But I just wonder, yeah, what type he has if he does have one.
But I don't know much about, like, because the Twitter that we have, which you guys can find us on Twitter at Unraveling Crime. It's our shared Twitter account, but I never set it up, so I don't know like what can be like fudged, if you will, or faked when you're setting up a Twitter.
I think that I had to put my phone number, but I don't know if you were able to do like an email, but I think it was really basic. It was basic because I have one on my iPhone when I couldn't get into the Unraveling Crime. I just let it choose like a random name for me at the time and just like logged in trying to keep up with one of the court things that was happening. And yeah, it was pretty basic. I'm pretty sure. But yeah, the link to that, by the way, is in the description, you guys, if you're on Twitter. I've been still sharing like here and there. I went for a while. I hadn't shared anything on there. I don't know if you guys do, but now here lately I have shared a few things with the case on the Twitter. We need to get more active on there. And yeah, for sure. But Mystic Firefly, I don't know if I do think that they were found with their pants around their feet. But I don't know. We don't know the details
I've
of
heard
that.
conflicting reports. I've heard that, but then on court TV they said pantsless.
Oh, okay.
I
But at the
did
same-
hear.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, that they were. And I was gonna say real quick, they were sexually assaulted. Had you guys heard that also?
See, I didn't hear that. I only heard that they had thought it was like a sexual in nature because of the way that they were displayed. And then I heard the father came out and said a statement like there's a murderer and rapist on the loose. And so
Right.
that's when I put it all together like, oh wow, so then they must have been sexually assault or essayed.
Yeah.
And so yeah, that was the only way that I had heard about that aspect of it. But again, I've only read a few things on it. I want to go back to the first reports of it before Gabby even went missing too, you know?
Agreed.
Yeah, I do too. I know her dad. I'm pretty sure I was looking on Twitter just now. I'm pretty sure her dad or one of the girls' dads said something about that happening. But I'm hoping, well, they came and got his DNA. So if it was him, they'll have an answer. But there's a reason the police do not think it was him. For some reason, maybe they have something we don't know about. But I don't know. Also, the police have told us things like we know exactly where Brian is. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Good point.
Twitter is an awesome place to look for updates. I was trying to look.
Yes.
It's a good place. Like just go to latest, but I don't think there's anything major happening. So yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just gonna real quick. I want 100% more validation that they're not connected before I'm gonna believe it, because they said no, but it's like, okay, well, what did you find? I want more details. How do you know it's not connected? I mean, like Mystic Firefly said, that they should be doing DNA tests on that couple. So
And
I hope that
remember,
they have,
Kelly,
and I hope that they do check it against Brian's DNA.
yeah, and just think they just got Brian's DNA. So how can they 100% conclude that? And two, the last time I'd seen a report on it, they didn't have any leads for it, and the father's been begging pretty much the public for leads. And three, they came out and said no connection to the Gabby Petito disappearance. Her body wasn't even found yet at that point when they discredited the connection.
Yeah. I want to know why they said that. I really do. Is there a reason, or are you just figuring that? Or is there like maybe some kind of evidence or something in the other case that we don't know about? But have you seen her dad? I don't think so, because one of their dads is setting up like every day with a little booth where he takes tips. It's like his tip booth. Oh, just heartbreaking.
It's heartbreaking. Yeah.
Crazy. So this is that up to now. Let's see. Laundry. I did see today on Twitter, they're filming the parents' house nonstop, and someone actually sent a card, like a sympathy card, and was watching the news when it got delivered, and they showed like how when you order something or you like send something, you can have them take a picture of it at the door or whatever when they drop it off. Well, they showed a picture of it from their app, a picture of it from the news, and then like a close up of it, and it was like a sympathy card for when you lose somebody. But they were basically just saying, we're not going to stop until you guys either talk or there's justice. Like, we're not going to stop. I don't know. It was crazy though. I'm waiting for them to do something to get the people to stop outside their house, because part of me doesn't think that it's right, but then there's part of me that's like, no, these people wouldn't even answer this mother while her daughter's out, several states away, who knows where she's at, missing. Like, so for a second I start to feel bad for them, but then again, I know that it's their own fault that it's happening. So
Yeah, I feel bad for the neighbors. That's it.
Yeah, same.
Well,
Because
I do know.
somebody with a megaphone right outside your house all day.
Yeah, I do know he said that because of out of respect for the neighbors, they were only going to do it like for 5 minutes every hour on the hour. So they're just,
Okay.
yeah. So for 5 minutes at like 12 o'clock till 12:05, they're doing it. And then 1 o'clock to 1:05 and so on.
Still, though, can you imagine?
Yeah. Plus, you have no privacy. I mean, even if there was no megaphone, just all the cameras and the people, and just, I don't know. I just wouldn't like that. Like, I want to go outside and have at least a little bit of privacy and be relaxed with a ton of strangers coming around. And I don't know. Let's see what the chat says. Thank you for these updates. You're very welcome. I have, you guys, I don't know if you have watched, but I've been posting like little edited videos of certain things. So I do have a video from today of the guy with the megaphone and, what's happening outside of the house, and them watering the flowers. My gosh, that was so precious, wasn't it? Like, oh, sweet that people care so much.
That was a nice image.
Yeah.
Mystic Firefly. Oh, they're talking about, they know that Brian had the 380. Now, it did look like there was a gun behind the van, but I will say that we don't know for sure. Like, I don't know. We don't know if, I'm not going to assume that that's what happened. I'll just say that it was a gun. It could be, but I don't think necessarily it was.
Soon we'll get all the answers we need when that autopsy is released.
Yep, absolutely. Okay, well, Bentley, hold on, you guys. I'm sorry.
We're good. So, yeah, I just want to thank all the mods tonight. You guys have been great.
Yeah. Yes, thank you guys so much. And thank you guys for coming on. And I know that I wasn't like super prepared. I should have been more prepared, but I just thought we'd have discussion and let it go. And I think it went good. I think we always have good discussion, kind of working our way through these things.
Agree.
Yeah, and thank you guys so much for coming. I know that the chat loves when you're here. Wolfie said you're great, Amber. See? Thank you, Amber.
She is.
You both are great. Both of you guys, I know most of you are probably subscribed to their channels, but if you're not, definitely go over there. You're missing out if you're not. I'm just saying. You're definitely missing out. But yeah, thank you guys for coming on, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Oh, Wolfie said Kelly and Allie are awesome too.
Thanks, Wolfie. No, like I said, we all share this interest in true crime and following these cases. And so it is just nice to have you guys to bounce ideas and discuss it with. And then, coming on to YouTube, where we have each of us have our platform and do our own things, but also work together and just discuss it as we just try to kind of make sense of it and wait for more information. It's
Yep, absolutely. And when more information comes, we can discuss it some more.
Yeah, sure.
Mystic Firefly, they're in my description. Actually, their channels are always in my description. Oh, Bentley, are you okay? I accidentally hit him. It's dark in here with my finger. I was talking with my hands. You okay? Their channels are always in my description. And our Twitter that we do together, and Instagram. So it's down towards the bottom. I should have moved it up towards the top for the video, but yeah, it's at the bottom of the description box. And yeah, definitely go subscribe. That's one person that isn't already. I'm surprised, but that's probably the only one. But anyways.
Thanks for having us.
Yeah, your chats are always nice, and it's always a good vibe here. So thanks again.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much. Bentley, click me off the screen. All right. I'll talk to you guys soon. And yeah, thank you, chat, as well. Bye,
Yep.
guys.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.